Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a comparison of all of my larger bezeled tactical flashlights, and I did one of these videos before with my smaller tactical flashlights, and I thought might as well do one with just all my larger ones because a few of you actually really enjoyed that, got lots of comments, and a few people asking for me to compare things like the Acebeam P16, talk about the TK20, that kind of thing. So here they all are, and in all its glory. And I'll start off and just tell you what lights we'll be looking at today. So probably just go one by one. There's so much in here, so I'm not gonna. If I just compare them all to each other, it's gonna get really confusing. So I'll just talk about them one by one. This here is the Armytek Doberman Pro. Comes with an LED, which I'm really not sure exactly what it is. It's a quad dye LED. It looks to be some proprietary kind of LED. Nice sort of tactical switch there on the back, and the UI is this sort of head twisty sort of UI to change between modes. So it's an interesting sort of flashlight. I really love the feel of it, the grip especially. It's probably one of my most favorite flashlights to hold and use. Okay, it would be nice. I would have preferred for it to have another LED, maybe an SFT40 or something more powerful in there, but the included LED is still pretty freaking good. We'll move on to the next one. So we've got the Olight Warrior X3. Comes with two modes, a low and a high mode, SFT70 emitter in there, and you pretty much get this nice sort of tactical ring design here in the back, knurling, and I'd say the anodizing is on the smooth side, so the knurling is useful. And Olight, they have proprietary charging, proprietary battery, but this is a really beautiful sort of beam. Produces really nice beam. 3 glass breaking beads here on the head. So this is the Fenix TK20R version 2.0, and it has a hidden USB-C charging port underneath the head, SF70 flashlight LED, has an SFT70 in there, and a beautiful sort of design, and quite a classic design as well, classic flashlight design. You've got these two buttons on the back. That one allows you to access one-step strobe, and that one to access whatever mode you've programmed in there. So it can be high, it can be turbo, that kind of thing. Slightly larger head, but it's still pocketable. It does come with a holster as well. Nitecore P23i, one of my favorite SFT70 flashlights. It's pretty small, very powerful, and comes with that dual stage switch as well, dual switch on the back, so you'll be able to access strobe and turbo from the tail switch. Glass breaking beads. SFT70. This is the Acebeam P16, Defender P16, and it has a nice kind of crenulated bezel. Okay, none of those glass breaking beads, but again, you've got that dual switch design on the back, so to access strobe and also to access the turbo mode. I really like the anodizing on the P16. It's like that perfect blend of, it's mostly just matte black, but there's a little shine to it. And probably one of the most pocketable out of all of these lights out here. And let's go next. We've got the Fenix PD36R Pro. Speaking of pocketable, this is, again, in terms of larger tactical flashlights, still able to pocket it, especially because it has this same diameter tube all the way around. I mean, the head sticks out a bit around there, but apart from that, completely slim, around the same width all the way through, even thinner than the P16, the head of the P16. Dual switch on the back as well. Okay, strobe and turbo is accessible. And with the R series, the Fenix R series, you have a USB port which is integrated here. You just got to pull off that rubber gasket. It's also internally, it's water resistant internally. and SFT70 in there as well. I like how Fenix don't use really, any glass breaking beads or any sharp areas on their bezels. This makes it just better in terms of not attracting unwanted attention. And finally, we're going to go through some of my Nextorch flashlights. This is the Nextorch TA30C Max. Quite a unique light. You've got the glass breaking beads here, and this is made of titanium, the bezel, and some anti-roll cutouts. I really think Nextorch are one of the most underrated companies out there. They just have some amazing tactical flashlights fit for purpose. And, another thing is that they have this little function here in the back, which allows you to switch between the different modes. There's a battery indicator there as well. So when you sort of unscrew and screw the light back in, or just turn it on and off. But basically this button on the back allows you to access turbo, through a half press. Full press, you can access strobe through basically just shifting this little switch here at the back, this rotating switch. You can go from low, medium, high, and strobe, and then tack mode right at the back, which allows you just to access the main modes. Even if you're saying the low mode like that, and you press that back button, that will allow you to access turbo and strobe from that switch. Love the clips as well that Nextorch provides. These things are made out of some solid steel. I mean, they're just so rigid. Amazing quality. This one has an XHP70.3 HI in there. And Nextorch also really like to use orange peel reflectors in their tactical flashlights. Very more diffused, practical kind of beam. Nextorch T10L. This is an LEP tactical flashlight. Extremely high candela. This thing can throw over a kilometer. And similar kind of UI as the previous one. So yeah, this one does not have pretty much any spill. It's just got a very, very bright hotspot for long distance spotting. And this is the Nextorch T20L, probably my most favorite and most powerful LEP flashlight that I own. This thing is incredible, 900 lumens, and throws well over 2 kilometers. And basically you've just got a switch on the back there. You can access turbo and then half press to ramp it down. There's a hidden strobe mode in there as well. But yeah, pretty much half press to access the highest mode. Charge it from the back. There's a little charging port here, and you can also unscrew, take out the battery and charge it separately. That's generally what I do. So let's see how all of these perform. Alright guys, I'm going to be doing a comparison of my favorite tactical flashlights with larger sort of heads. So these are a little bit more difficult to pocket, but still doable, and especially if you want to get that extra range, that extra boost, that lumen boost. So coming up first, I've got the Acebeam P16. People were asking about this one and getting me to compare it. So this is how you go. This is on the turbo mode. I'm just going to cycle through the different modes. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's basically just 4 modes, and that's the highest turbo mode, and very, very impressive. And I really like how far that hotspot projects out to, and it's quite a large hotspot as well compared to some of my other flashlights with smaller bezel. Okay, reaching all the way out the back there with no issues, and lots of spill as well here on the ground. Okay, probably the third mode. I mean, the third mode is still pretty good, as you can see. It reaches out the back, no issues at all. But fourth, I mean, that's very impressive. Such a small light as well. Coming up next, I've got the Nextorch TA30C Max, and that there is on the highest mode. It's got the XHP70.3 HI, and of course it is producing a lot more light. It's 3000 lumens, and it's using an orange peel reflector. So you do get the benefit of the throw in the center of the beam, but at the same time, you get the benefit of this lovely spill and the diffused hot spot, so it blends more nicely into the spill. Okay. So this does have probably a more overall balanced beam. Okay. Also got strobe mode. If you press, you can go through, cycle through the different modes. So that's low, low, medium. Okay, medium's pretty decent as well. Okay, then you got high. Okay, and wow, great tactical flashlight. This is one of my favorites from Nextorch. Beautiful beam. Alright, coming up next I've got the Nitecore P23i, and that's on turbo, and I mean, look at that, SFT70. This is like a stronger version of the P16, but it does use a normal reflector, a smooth reflector. Okay. And one thing I like about this light is that it is able to maintain its brightness. It does ramp down quickly, but it doesn't ramp down to say 20-30% of its output like some other lights. So this does get pretty hot after some time of use on this mode, but of course you can switch the other modes. So, you know, just going down the different modes to show you. Okay, like that. Great hand warmer on a night like this. And this is for those of you who just want that. Definitely, it's more catered towards throw, maybe like 65-70% throw, and the rest of it just flood. Alright, so I've got the Armytek Doberman Pro, and that's on the highest mode, as you can see here. Lovely beam. And one of the most comfortable lights that I've actually held. I'm not sure what kind of LED is in there. It's some kind of proprietary LED. Great visibility out all the way through the back of those trees still. But there's not a whole lot of spill, as you can see. Okay, really not a whole lot of spill. So if you need something that produces light so that you can see into your peripherals, it's probably not the light for you, but it does have a nice focused hot spot, and everything within the beam of light, even the spill, is very, very visible. We've got the Fenix TK20R version 3.0. This comes with the SFT70 and lovely beam, as you can see. And one thing I love about Fenix is that they just produce, I mean, the beam profile is just incredible. There's no, I mean, there's no artifacts in the beam, you know, no ringiness on the edge of the beam as well, like some other flashlights. But they're still using smooth reflectors. So the beam kind of reminds me a bit of the P23i. The P23i, though, it does have some better throw to it. These are some other modes. So first, second, third, fourth. Fourth mode's pretty good. And of course the highest turbo mode there. This one does ramp down pretty quickly within 30 seconds. As it, with the SFT70, gets pretty hot. Okay, but look at that. Very impressive beam. Even on the third mode as well, like I was showing you before. Sustained output. Fenix PD36R Pro, and great throw as well, and it has one of the smaller bezels out of all the lights I'm showing you tonight, but it still is able to project that beam all the way into the distance quite easily. okay, but it does ramp down at about 30 seconds. So go through the different modes. Low, you know, that's low, medium, high. Okay, so there's actually 5 modes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the highest. You know, got sort of activate that tactical switch on the back as well for momentary mode. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Even that 4th mode. Look at that. Turbo. Alright, Olight Warrior X3, and also with the SFT70, but this one has some serious throw to it, and the beam is probably one of the nicest beams that I've seen on a flashlight. It's just so crisp, that hot spot in the center. I don't know how else to explain it. The spill is perfect as well, no artifacts. And go into the medium mode here. There's only 2 modes, low and high basically, so that one and then that one. So there we go. Even low reaches the back of those trees. High, look at that. Simple light to use as well. Nextorch T10L tactical LEP light, and let's put it on the highest mode. There we go. This thing is incredible. One of the longest throwing lights I have, but there's just no spill, as you can see. Very bright hot spot. You can see into the trees and all the little details. And from the distance as well there, that tree in the clearing. It's more of a spotting kind of flashlight. And let's go on to the other mode. So that's like the low mode here, and even on the low mode, look at that, you're still able to hit those trees so easily out in the back. Medium, tactical tail switch. High. So if all you want is just throw and something fun to play with, or you're using it for spotting, long distance spotting, great, really great light. You also got strobe mode on it as well. You just mash that end button really hard. I mean, the end button just activates turbo, and then a full press, half press to get the highest mode, and full press to get strobe. So I think that's one of the best tactical interfaces, UIs that I prefer that anyway. On a tactical flashlight, makes it very easy to use, intuitive in an emergency situation. Okay, Nextorch T20L. This is the big brother of the T10L, and look at that. This thing produces 900 lumens and quite a large hot spot. It even produces a little bit of spill out here, tiny little bit of spill, not much, mainly just that center beam. LEPs don't really produce, they're not known to produce any spill at all, but look at that, it's hitting that tree all out in the clearing. It's very easily, look at that, absolutely amazing to use. And the beam is just, it sticks out in the middle of the night like this. Quite incredible. I'm actually going to go for a little quick walk at the front, but I'll show you the different modes. So there you go, you kind of got these 2 other modes, high, medium. Medium's still pretty good, and low. Low is, yeah, you can still see kind of what's going on. It reaches the back, but there's not a whole lot of light there. Strobe mode. Okay. And I've got a bonus light as well. This is the Convoy L21B, and it's got an XHP70.3 HI. And look, it's not marketed as a tactical flashlight, but you can set one of the modes, programming it to 100%, and have that activate always on 100%. So I think that's pretty much as close as a tactical style light as you can get. It does have a larger head though. The Convoy do have a lot of other hosts like the M21B that do the same thing, the exact same sort of UI. So look at that. I mean, that is amazing. XHP 70.3 HI. This produces the most light, full stop, out of all these flashlights. Okay, but again, it's not a tactical, not kind of marketed as a tactical flashlight, but it doesn't have a momentary mode, half press, but full press. If you program it to 100%, will always activate this highest mode. Okay, just like any other of these 12 mode Convoy flashlights. So if you're looking for a very effective, cheap, tactical style light, any of these Convoy lights are great, absolute great bargain, and so cheap. They're so cheap and they perform incredibly. So there we are. And that's it.